The absolute noise of young niggers having a problem with the sisters that challenge you to do better and be better. The fucking noise. So you are unintentionally admitting by default that you're okay with basic, with below minimum standards, with minimizing, with being bottom. You're okay being low level, bottom, regular, basic. You okay with that? Well, don't be the fuck mad with me because you're okay with less than mediocrity, but you want to be called a king, but you want to be treated with high regards, but you trying to be a your highness. You want to be a leader, but you done critiqued your life around mediocrity or less. Can you math that for me? Because that motherfucking math ain't adding up. See, I can't speak for all women. I'm going to just speak for the women that's in my league. How we was raised, whether it was in two-parent homes or not, we was already raised on a certain level. And because we were children and our parents were responsible for our lives at that time, the level in which we were raised, we had no choice but to be okay with. And we made the best out of that. And now that we're women in charge of our own lives, we want better than what our parents were able to provide for us. Because in our young minds, we remember that as being mediocrity or minimum. And with no blame to our parents, because I'm quite sure that they did the best that they could with what they had. So we're not blaming them in our adulthood. We're taking responsibility for our own lives, and we choose different, and we choose to want better. And whatever it is that brought us to this point was 360. So we chose better, we want better, we want to interact with better. And we're just not at liberty to settle anymore. And we're not at liberty to become complacent with you not wanting to elevate in any way, because who you are, I guess, got you to that point where you're at and you feel like you've arrived. But when you meet a woman who says, well, babe, you may have arrived at that time and place, and that's great. That's great. But now that we are here together, there's another level that we need to get to. There's another level that we aspire to go to because, well, I understand you feel like you've arrived at that time, but no. There's other levels. And you get mad and you feel away, so you want to demean us. You want to disrespect us instead of coming into the partnership with an open mindset to the grand possibilities of better, greater, greatest elevation. You want to do all of these things to then bring us back down to your level. Ooh. And see, at our age, women of our age, as we choose to want better and do better and be better and become better, Like, I'm just confused. I had to take a minute. I don't get it. But you want to be treated a certain way because, baby, we are far from the age. No matter how we feel, we are at a mature level in our life where, how can I put this in layman's terms? Nigga, ain't nobody gonna choose you and stay with you because hold on, give me a minute. I'm struggling because my emotions is taking over, and I really want to get my point across. Nigga, ain't nobody gonna choose to stay with you and be with you and try to build with you because of your potential. And I noticed these are the same people who have men, in my preference and referencing to myself, they have a lot of high requirements of the women. But universal law says, as above, so is below. And what you put into the universe, you shall get it in return. Because when you put out into the universe, you are planting your seeds, you are harvesting, you are cultivating. And so whatever you harvest, plant, and cultivate, whatever you feed, whatever you nourish, whenever you're attentive to your garden, it shall grow and be fruitful. And so you have these requirements for women, but you're not in the position mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally to give to her what you're requesting of her. You're not even in the mind state to be open to what it is she has to offer in order for you guys to elevate as a unit. Because somehow or another you're threatened. That's a threat to your manhood for a woman to be in any position that's better than you. Any tangible position, any position that could be seen, that she's better than you. And so that's some type of threat. And so you instead want to bring her down? Oh no, baby. No. And that is why, that is why you retreat and start fucking with younger women in hopes that these younger women are not yet on a mental level to supersede you, go past you, or get to a place where they won't recognize you trying to bring them down. They'll just go with the flow and be on some shit like, oh, that's my man, I won't step beside him. So that's why you go younger. It's, oh, wow. The good book say Satan is clever. That's so unfortunate that we expect from you what you expect from us. We want from you what you want from us. And you saying that's too much. You're saying, do as I say, but not as I do. You're saying, because I am a male gender, that I deserve every seed that you have planted, while I contribute nothing on any level towards the garden. Oh, but I'm going to eat. That's what you're saying. I'm going to eat. And if you don't eat, well, that's not really my problem or really my concern. And it really has nothing to do with me because you're the woman and you're responsible for everything that goes on in the kitchen. Is that your mentality, little boy? Well, I also need for you to know that most of us have become young parents because we were in love at a young age, innocent, great love, beautiful love, and we had children. And, well, while we put a lot of our resources into raising better children so that our children can have less trauma and become better men, we're not interested in re-raising your ass. Say what you mean and mean what you say. I'm calling y'all on your shit. And myself too. Because I'm no longer interested in dating a particular kind of man. A man who I feel can relate to my story or trauma bond in hopes that we can heal together and be better. No, no, no. I want a man, not a broken little boy in a man's body. We want men because these are the men that we are supposed to build kingdoms with. The man I want is a king. And what makes him a king, what makes me a queen, and what makes us be able to gravitate towards each other sooner rather than later is the fact that we did all of the work. And of course, healing is a continuous process, but we did a vast majority of the work, healed our childhood traumas, healed our young adult traumas, continuing to do the work so that any trauma that we may face in the future, any trauma that we're currently dealing with, won't have a negative reflection on a relationship in which we are trying to embark. Because healing and growing is a lifelong process. But we're well off in that department. And that will allow us to continue to elevate together spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And then we'll be able to pour into each other and lift each other higher and higher and ascend together. Sometimes y'all get in your own fucking way and y'all be your own fucking disappointment. It has nothing to do with us women. But you stew in that shit. Because if I catch one of y'all lame ass supposed to be grown niggas with any of my nieces or girlfriends, friends, cousins, or the latter, I will chew your ass up and spit you out. Stew on that.